Hey, live, what's going on? It's Marriage One-on-One with the Gilliard.
Hello.
Our topic for today is... See, that's again. Well, we're going to be talking about being committed to your vows. For better or worse, through sickness and health. What's the other one? To death do you part. So,
from rich or poor, right?
Oh, my bad. From richer, we're gonna talk about from rich or poor, sickness and health. What's the last thing? What wrong with me today? We'll figure it out. But my mind going, y'all pray for me. But first we're gonna talk about in sickness and in health. A lot of times when you get in certain situations when you're married, it just depends on what it is. A lot of times it kind of mess up with the marriage. And I can think back when I went through the situation when I got hurt on my job and I tore my rotator cuff. So I couldn't even really move this arm at all. So it was hard for me to even bathe myself. And my wife had to really step in and do a lot of things because I wasn't able to work at the time. She even had to help wash me off because I couldn't use my right arm, and I'm right-handed, so you can imagine trying to change your mindset to using your other hand. So,
Did you? Did you just do a white thing?
Yeah, I know why I know why I did this, y'all. But anyway, so that was tough. But a lot of times when you get in certain situations with that sickness and health, and I just want you to think about, just say, for instance, if your wife have some kind of, I'll just say wife because I'm a man, have some kind of issue where which we did, but we'll talk about it in a second. Where you can't, have sex and stuff like that. How would you deal with that and everything? So we actually went through a situation like that. It was about maybe about 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
9 years ago?
I think it was probably about 9 years ago.
How old is Kamon?
Come 5.
Come on,
10. Man, we got 4 kids, y'all. Come on, is 10. So it was about 10 years ago. Boy, there's bloopers right now, y'all. But 10 years ago, we dealt with my wife was just like bleeding continuously.
Probably more than 10 years. It was the first couple of parts of our marriage.
Yeah, it was like, the first part of our marriage until I think we had our second child. Mm-hmm. And there have been a lot of times where it was like months after months that we couldn't do anything. And so in those times, like, that's when you really got to pray. If you a person of faith, you're going to really have to pray that God will strengthen you. Because, sometimes certain things will make you desire even more when you ain't getting it like how you usually get it. And you don't want anything to come in and interfere, so you have to be focused. And but it was tough, you know what I'm saying, because you desire that as men, you know what I mean. We want that all the time. But when you're not able to do that, and I know some guys probably saying, "Well, shoot, I do them anyway if she bleeding," but I ain't that type of dude. I just say like, let me try to stay away. So, but that was a hard time in our marriage, and I really had to pray. And like we said in previous videos, a lot of times when you're going through, especially people of the faith that are saved, the enemy is coming. So a lot of times he try to, throw monkey wrenches in there when you're going through, when you're at a weak point. So a lot of times he will bring certain things to you, or make you have certain feelings and stuff like that, to do things like even cheat or you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff. But so you have to really stay focused on on what God is, you know what I mean, stay focused on God so you won't go in that area. So just think about it. Are you willing to, especially the ones in the early stages of marriage, you really got to think, am I willing to be able to go through when in sickness, like when she's not able to perform or do the things that she would usually do, even simple as cooking and just getting around and cleaning the house, because if she can't do it because of ailment or he can't do it, are you willing to step in and take up the slack? So what you got there? I talk a lot in it. Hey, loud. But what I ain't know. What's your point on that? With how you felt when you was going through that? With the bleeding all the time.
How I really felt with the bleeding thing. For one, it was just taking a real toll on my body, and as a wife, you want to perform your wifely duties, and when you can't do that with your husband, like, you kind of feel less of a woman. But knowing that it's a medical issue, I went to doctors. They was like, well, we don't know what's going on, and there was nothing they could do. I had 2 blood transfusions behind. I had 2 blood transfusions behind that. So, but I really am thankful that he never stepped out on me during those times, because it was hard. Like, it would be very, very rough through those times. It was months. It could be like 1 week or 1 day and I'll be, good, and next thing you know, it's just constantly. And it seemed like it was no stopping to it. But yeah, it don't make you feel like you're a good wife, because it drains you. It brings you anemia, just as he said, as far as that you can't clean your house or whatever. You can't be that mother that you want to be. You can't be that wife that you want to be, because this thing has really taken over your body. It has physically drained you to the point where it's just like you don't even recognize who you are, and it's just little things as far as getting up and walking someplace is hard to do. You're out of breath because it brings on other issues as anemia. So during this time, he was a great help to me, and I'm just thankful for him during this time, for him being an understanding husband, because most husbands aren't understanding about that. And then even if I wouldn't do that. Even if he wanted something that was bleeding, that's just nasty to me, so I wouldn't do that. So, but he was very, very understanding during that time.
Prayer. That's what I'm going to tell you, prayer. It was hard, and a lot of times I didn't allow her to see how I was kind of feeling, kind of frustrated, because, you desire that, what I mean? You're married, and, you desire to be intimate with your wife and stuff like that. So for that long of a stint of time, you really gotta be praying and staying before God, because it's so easy to step out. You know what I'm saying? And it's easy to do that. So you gotta really stay focused and stay prayed up. And that's what helped me, y'all. I stayed prayed up, because it wasn't easy. I'm not gonna sit here and act like it wasn't easy, and it didn't cross my mind. It did cross my mind, but I know that wasn't the right thing to do, so I just had to pray even the more that I don't go in that area, because it would have opened up so much other stuff if I made that decision to step out. So I just thank God for giving me strength during that time. And even if you're going through that situation right now, if you don't know Jesus, get to know him, because you're gonna need him through going through this situation. Because a lot of times we got so much things that's going on, like the cancer and diabetes, and a lot of times you do certain things to your body where you don't even have the desire or anything to have sex or anything. So all those stuff like that, you gotta really be praying about that when sickness comes, that you don't step out. And sometimes that happens a whole lot, where when stuff like that happen and the husband like, man, she can't give it to me, I'm going someplace else to get it. But you gotta remember those vows, so you gotta stay committed to your vows.
Okay.
Yeah. I ain't see no question.
What else? What other part we was talking about?
Richer or poor? Let's talk about it.
Richer or poorer? Ooh. A lot of people skip that part in their marriage. People say from richer and richer. Nah, not reality. Yeah. Because for one thing, you may experience hard times. It probably be a time when you up and then something could easily happen to where it's not what you're used to. Your standards of spending is not there anymore. So that part finances is number one thing for breaking up a marriage, because finances play a big role in a marriage, especially how you spending it. So if you with the person for financial reasons, you shouldn't have got married in the first place, because you build with a person. Sometimes it may, just like I said, it may be there, then sometimes it may not. So what are you going to do when the funds is not really there how you used to? Are you just going to sit there and you going to run, or are you going to stay in the trenches with them? So that richer for richer and poor, that was put there for a reason. It wasn't there for play, and people take that part like lightly. And it's not, because finances could cause a lot of problems in a marriage. It can. It could be a 2-income household, and then it could turn around to be 1. So when you don't have your own income coming in, then you have to rely on your spouse. Then how you gonna feel? Are you gonna sit there and you gonna stay in that marriage, or you gonna let these finances like basically take over? You have to really sit there and you have to pray. I know when
we started off broke. We've been broke. For real.
But we
we really started off broke, y'all.
And then I wasn't working because he worked.
When we first got married, you was at Walmart.
Yeah, for a little while.
Yeah.
But after that, it was like.
Yeah. Because I know with me, I really didn't know how to handle my finances as far as like being able to save your money and paying bills on time and stuff like that. So that was very hard in the beginning of our marriage, where we got evicted out of a couple of places because of I was working at jobs to make the money, but I wasn't good with finances. So a lot of times we end up paying the rent late and stuff like that. Through time, that's when I really learned, through mistakes, where I really learned to pay my bills and stuff on time. But we started off broke. I mean, it been rough sometimes. I make y'all laugh. I remember one time, but we had no food in our. I had oodles and noodles and jelly. So you know it was rough there. You put oodles and noodles and jelly together. So we
eat the noodles plain.
I didn't know why I did that, but through all that taught me how to do better in my finances. So you're gonna have those times when you just ain't gonna have. You can start off, both of y'all can have awesome jobs, and you never know when something's gonna happen. But you got to be able to stand together.
Yeah.
So always, like I say, be committed to your vows, no matter what you're facing. But finances is one of the number one things that causes marriages to end. And a lot of times they don't communicate, and you spending money over here, and she think you paying the bills, but you ain't paying them, and you wasting money. Then before you know it, it's eviction notice on the door. So stuff like that, a woman be like, I can't, because all that kind of make your spouse lose trust in you. Because you got faith and you got trust in this person that they're going to take care of you. They're paying the bills and stuff on time, and then you turn around and you getting evicted. That kind of makes them lose trust in you. And it's hard when a person lose trust for you to regain it. A lot of times when people think of trust, they think, oh, can somebody step out? But you can just do certain things and it makes a person lose trust in you.
Yeah.
But really, really, really communicate when you're going through financially.
Yeah. Not only that, it's like even with the person who has the job, they feel like they got a little control. And I had like that.
Well, you saying I act like I had
control? Yes, you did.
What y'all think about that? Do men act like we got control when we working and the wife is not working?
It's either one. Whoever is
y'all
working
come on
at
and
the
comment
moment,
on that.
Because that thing, that thing used to irk my nerves like crazy. Because when I would be like, hey, I need this, you be like you will act like I'm asking you for a liver or something. And
so, but you saying it's vice versa though, because sometimes the female can act like
the female. Because sometimes I'm not saying 9 times 10, but sometimes when a female makes more money than a male, she feels like she's the head of the household. Some of them. Not all of them, but some of them.
Yeah. So
the finances could play a big role in things. And so if a man ends up falling out and not having a job at the moment and the woman's making it, then she feel like she has a little control. Money make you feel like you got a little control. That's point blank. When I used to ask you just for personal things or money to get something, or you used to give me the stinkest face. And I was like, I don't want to ask you for nothing. Like, you thought it was out. It wasn't easy asking you for money. And I know we were in a tight spot or whatever. But it was like, okay, you feel like you got a little control of me. A lot of times you heard me say, I don't care. I will leave you. You think I'm staying with you because of money? I don't care. I will leave you. That wasn't making me stay. So you wasn't going to just treat me in one kind of way because you were on top with the money and I was stay-at-home mom. So, that's right. Every woman should nest. Get your nest.
Let me tell you.
Woman,
who said that? Me. Oh, Lord.
Every woman should nest.
I want my men to comment on this if you're married. Don't it seem like your wife always have, like, we can be someplace and just say, there been times when I've been like a few dollars short with something. And then pop out, she got all this money in her wallet. Like, am I the only husband that go through that? Like, I be like, what in the world? Like, these women, they are good at nesting.
That's
Men,
why
do
you
y'all
don't
agree?
get your change back. We holding it because you never know when you're gonna need it. You never know. That's why we always keep the change.
But y'all, men, even later, please comment on that. Do y'all feel like your wife do the same thing?
Yeah.
Where it seems like the women are good for nesting. I totally see that all the time.
Because we don't look at what's then and there. Because sometimes men, y'all can be cheap, but they're spontaneous. And it's like, which one you gonna be? With certain things you could be cheap, but then in other things, if you really want something, you be very spontaneous. And it's like, did you really need that at the moment or whatever? So women, we're gonna look at things a little differently, and we're gonna kind of like, okay, let me put this to the side over here, or let's start this way or whatever else like that. Just like how I do my change, and I keep my change, and then I was doing my dollars and stuff. A lot of times when I have my dollars in my car or whatever, you be like, well, I need some gas money. Okay, go in the car. So you never know when you're going to need that money. So we just keep it to the side. It's not like we trying to hide it from y'all. We just know it's going to be a rainy day.
But we spend our money first. And anytime we go someplace, both of y'all can have money. But that man, your money going to be going first before that woman's money be going. So do y'all agree with that? Do you feel like your wife always nesting? That's still tied in with talking about the finances right now, and that go on a whole lot. I don't care what nobody say.
What?
Just being around you and your sisters and stuff like that.
My mama taught us well.
Them suckers be nesting, bro.
My mama said, you better have some money for a rainy day. You don't depend on nobody. That's what she said, and that's what we learn, and that's what we do. So that's a good question though. What? Do you feel like you have to nest, or you should just trusting that your husband gonna have it? So that's another question y'all can maybe comment on later. But finances. No, you don't trust them. I don't care.
Richer or poor. that's a good subject because it all ties in. Yeah, see that now.
You really do, because if your spouse is a person who spends money all the time, you be like, okay, you kind of loose with money. It's good for somebody to be financially stable and see something different and kind of keep some money away. It is good, even if a man. Cause y'all can't tell me I don't be hiding some money. Ain't no way.
I don't spend like that.
Not now.
So why you nesting?
I don't got time to nest no more. Don't worry, my nest will be back.
Oh.
But you know about my nest, and my nest ain't hidden from you. You know about my nest. I tell you, it's for a rainy day. But sometimes, like, say, I would expect for you, if you're financially stable, you see things in a certain way. But I'm the spontaneous spender. I expect for you to kind of be like, okay, let me make sure I put this here to the side or whatever else like that. And that's just basically what most women do. Do we know how much money each other got? We share a bank, so yeah.
Yeah, we do.
We share a bank, but he don't know how much in my pocketbook. Yeah.
Sad. But some matches, they don't do that. Like, they do everything separately. We just, you know what I mean? If that working for y'all, that work for y'all. But with us, we just, we got one bank account. But let me tell y'all something. My wife don't put no money in that bank.
I don't.
So it's a joint account, but my money the only one go in there.
Yep.
So, I don't know how much a joint account that is, but but what works for y'all work for y'all. Because sometimes you have it where you got your own account, I got my own account,
and then we got
I handle this. We put all our money together. This is for the bill. This your money. This my money. Sometimes that works, but we just don't. You know what I mean? Her money, my money. My money is her money.
Yeah.
Yeah, to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. That's why I keep money in my pocketbook, because I ain't got time for that. Because he they be like, well, will you spend this on? He checks the bank account, and I don't like that. Like, let me spend. If I put money in it, let me spend. That's why I put money in the bank account, because I want to spend.
But the reason why I do that, because you got so much people like hacking into your account, so I always constantly like looking to make sure is we the one who's spending it or whatever. So
yeah, we be spending it. It be us.
So,
but that part we finish on the.
Yeah, because it's already 20. That time going by fast. We probably gonna have to go through the second part.
What's the last part? For better, for worse, richer, poor.
We ain't did better or worse. So next Monday we're gonna be talking more on for the better and the worse.
Ooh.
In the vows. So we're
gonna be some stuff.
Yeah. So this is gonna be a continuance dealing with the vows. Because a lot of times, man, people break their vows so quick and don't even try to work out, you know what I mean, the parts where the vows probably been broken. Mm-hmm. They just, you know what I mean, just split and keep. And
yeah, but that depends on what the situation is. That's true.
But
it truly is.
Yeah.
Truly
I just feel like, unless, this is just my opinion now. Now, if you were getting abused or something like that, then I say, okay, it's time to go. Yeah. But even how you gonna go on the subject? We can talk about that next week. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. We'll talk about that next week.
You be talking.
But the finances is something, brothers. Please comment below about the question I had about the finances with the woman nesting.
Nesting.
Yeah.
You should nest. I'm pro nesting. Nest. Everybody get your little nest, okay? Because you never know. Put it someplace where you can't even find it. Yeah. Or you won't think about it.
So do you think it's all right for the husband and the wife not to know what each other got as far as finances?
I think they should know.
What y'all think? What y'all think out there? Do you think it's should that be something that needs to be communicated, or that's something you think you should keep to yourself?
How much money that person got? I don't know. It depends on the situation. Because sometimes you could be like, well, you got such and such, but where's that? Or whatever. But it seems like you keep a tabs on that person.
Then because you ask how much money they got, to know how much money they got.
Yeah, because if something goes lacking, you be like, well, I thought you just said you had this.
Well, I guess in certain cases, I just feel like it's kind of like if you come in and you hide and stuff, I just that's just being dishonest to me.
I have my Bath and Body Works.
She cannot go in Bath and Body Works no more, y'all. But
You lucky I'm listening to Sarah.
that's what y'all think about that.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that's
you should know what your spouse
have? We just want to see what y'all opinions and stuff is on that. So even after we end the live, and you see the video later on, comment on and let us know.
No.
This thing is crazy. I feel like it is. I would.
You want to know?
Yeah, I think each other should know where each other got. I feel like if you feel like you can't tell me, then it's a lack like
I
you.
can tell you, but I don't tell you.
What? What? You can tell me, but you don't.
I don't.
I don't
like
understand.
I could tell you, but I don't because you never ask.
Oh, I got you.
Like I'm not just gonna give you what I'm not just gonna give you that information. Like I don't.
Yeah. So,
we
but
never
that's
done
kind
that.
of yeah. But what I'm saying is, as far as like trying to keep it a secret, like like just say you got $5,000 saved up, but you say, yeah, I only got $500 saved up. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you don't feel like. I don't know if I could trust you to know my amount of money I got.
It depends. It truly depends. It depends on that situation.
I guess
because
that's how I
sometimes
look at
when you know, say if you don't lack some money or whatever else like that, but you know your spouse got it, you'll come and you'll start draining that. But it's an emergency. That stuff is put up for an emergency. It's not that we don't trust you, but sometimes when a spouse know, they be like, hey, can I get this? Can I get this? And it end up depleting and draining that account. And that wasn't for that purpose. So yeah, if I got 5,000, I got 50. You ain't know.
Lord Jesus. We got an 8-man corner. We got an 8-man corner over there. Our editor. So we got any questions tonight before we get off tonight? Do we got any questions? Yeah, it don't look like too much people tuning in tonight, so we're not gonna prolong it. We hope that y'all enjoy. Till next Monday, 5 o'clock, live. All right.
Bye-bye.
Peace.